week or something like that.
Something's definitely going on there. Hey.
That's why all the Bigfoot they left the place and they all went to Alberta chasing Bernie.
There you go.
Yeah, if Yellowstone goes, man, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Everybody will be, not just you. Even Canada. We'll get it 3 feet at least. If Yellowstone goes off, we'll get 3 feet. Sure. You can't drive in that. You can't breathe in that.
Yeah, it's bad for your lungs.
Yep. Yeah, it turns to glass the minute it hits your lungs.
Well, me and Philip are more in a safe zone than you are. You're like, yeah.
They showed a volcanic explosion from space. It was so big, it looked like an A-bomb went off.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen in Yellowstone. It's just going to...
And they think climate change, that we're actually going to do anything by saving like cans and not driving cars? Are you
Did you know, for crying out loud, did you know the Canadian government is investing like $20 million in eco-friendly beans in Africa?
Oh, don't get me started on our government, man. That's harsh.
to save on the global warming. Well, seriously, it's like, what? Seriously, is that a joke or what? No, you can just Google it. Google it, like eco-friendly beans Canada, and you'll find a link. They spend like 20 millions.
They're using it as an excuse to embezzle money behind the scene.
Oh, yeah,
I'm the one that said it. WPG, Lighting for Truth. Okay, come at me. I said it. They're as corrupt as a $3 freaking bill. I'm telling you right now. Half their families are known by my family. It's sick. Those people. They're sick. They need help. They shouldn't be empowered at all. Especially our crime sinister. His wife's on the Epstein list. She was his business partner, for freak's sake.
God.
Like, that's nuts, man. And we let this guy cheat and get into power? Come on.
Well, they just took $10 million in California through concerts and stuff to help the people in the fire that we had.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't give them a dime. They gave them a bunch of nonprofits, got all the money. So they basically embezzled all the money and gave it out to all their friends instead of helping the victims. And then everybody who got up on stage on the concert, the celebrities, this is going straight to the victims.
Oh.
They lied their butt off, man.
Yeah, that's like what Orca Winfrey did in Hawaii. You guys remember Orca?
Yeah.
It was up for a land grab is what she was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it too. Right? The rich and shameless. That's what we like to call them.
Yeah. Rich and shameful.
Yeah, well, they're shameless in their eyes. They think they could do no wrong, right? Anyway, we got on a dark train there. Like, what about the science?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Let's see, I might have found
that
video.
That's a good comment right there. Doge might, you know what?
Yeah, I saw the magnetic paper, Mike. Good going, man. That's gonna help a lot.
Yep. Oh yeah.
What, you got a paper on it?
Oh no, yeah, remember that sheet he just showed, and you can see the magnetic fields in it.
Oh yeah.
When he's setting it up in there to get that thing to pass.
Magnetic field line paper, that stuff's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? It didn't work for my coil. I don't know why.
Okay, I found the video.
Magnetism in your coil like that.
Yeah, it must be just straight 0 point or something.
Yeah, you already knew that. Oh, don't even play with us. You already knew that.
Okay, no, I found the video.
It comes off as magnetism. Like, anyway, go ahead, Mike.
Okay, I found that video to show how a magnet works. All right, I'm gonna present this. Sure. Screen share. Okay, let's do this.
One magnet here's both poles. The other magnet, I'm going to back both of them off, but I'm going to try to keep them apart from one another because these magnets are nickel plated and they're very slippery to hold on to, especially when they want to jump towards one another. Now you see something. I'm centering it here so you can see it right dead smack in the middle of the
See that null zone in the middle?
See that black hole?
See?
Right in the middle of the
Yeah, I saw that.
That is the
I saw a Ken Wheeler's video on that.
magnets that are trying to jump towards one another. And
Yeah, it's the same thing as what's in between the north and south pole and the magnet. It's
powerful
the
neodymium
dielectric.
from jumping to one another, but they're not accelerating towards one another. No, they're
Just
not.
listen to what he's saying.
Towards right smack in the middle of that supercell. You can see how that's not. See, here's both poles of this magnet. Both poles of this magnet. I'm not performing any trickery here on you. I'm actually backing both of them off. They're both off the either side of the supercell. But as I let them slowly creep towards one another, you see that hole right in the middle of the supercell? I know you can see it. That is what they're accelerating towards, not towards one another. It is a pressure gradient in the ether. All mass mutual acceleration and so-called magnetic attraction, which does not exist at all, is dielectric acceleration, whether it be point source in the case of a magnet. That's the only thing that defines a magnet. A magnet is defined not by anything quantitative, but rather qualitative, because a magnet, before it becomes a magnet, is just a ceramic lump of neodymium iron boron or ferrite. Once it's magnetized, then it becomes a quote-unquote magnet. The quality of a magnet is qualitative, not quantitative. That qualitative nature is point source, wherein which the field phenomena is ab extra to the magnet, and that's, of course, what has throughout all of human history. They actually had magnets back in ancient times. They're just natural ones. They're called lodestones. Look it up. That's the ab extra phenomena of the ether that exists around and outside of the physical object that we call a magnet, or we call a lodestone, whether it be ferrite or samarium cobalt or neodymium iron boron. But these two magnets are not accelerating towards one another. They're accelerating towards that spot right in the middle. Okay, you see that spot right in the middle there? There's nothing there. But not nothing. Nothing in the superficial, objective sense, but something substantial in the sense of counter space, i.e. inertia, i.e. non-Cartesian. You can call it zero-point energy, you could call it dark energy, you could call it dark matter. And of course, it's not matter at all. The only reason scientists call dark matter matter is because they think everything is matter. They're atomists by definition, and unintelligent, rightly so. But, see, here's the one magnet, and here's the other. You see that spot right there? That spot that's moving a little bit, that's centered right there? That is what these two masses, and this is point source acceleration. Magnetic attraction does not exist because magnetism is a three-dimensional S-curve of force and motion. Yes? There's no such thing as magnetic attraction. Magnetism is definitionally, denotatively, a toroidal interior dimension of a toroid. Force and motion, vector. It is centrifugal divergence. There's no such thing as magnetic attraction. Mutual.
All right. So that's what I've been studying.
I sick corrected.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, the force, the force is just the differential of the energy distribution. So if you have a different, energy going down or up, and then energy density going down or up, is going to create a force. It's the same thing with the magnets.
Right.
But I still need to figure out why a magnetic field just applies to magnet. How do you say that? No, the opposite of
what? No, the actual magnet itself.
Yeah, the magnet just applies to different materials, but not all materials.
It's a locked-in crystallized charge separation. That's what a magnet is. That charge separation allows the North Pole and South Pole. What's separating it? The depletion region, which is what we call the null zone.
Yeah, the null zone or the ether collapse. It's the ether collapse. Counter space.
And,
exactly.
Yeah, and it induces a force.
is the dielectric collapse of counter.
It's only a force when you unlock it so that it flows. When you allow it to flow and you give it a path, then it becomes a force. Otherwise, it's static, right? It's still a null zone. Go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Can you share my screen again?
Yep.
All right. Last week it was. I had it right. I wanted to talk about the piezoelectric fan here. So if you have an electric current in that material, the material will start oscillating, and very fast. So kind of wondering if you can do the same with magnets instead of electricity.
Yeah, but if you do it the wrong way, you could create problems in your house. Tesla's earthquake machine, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Watch the magnets you use when you spin them on a wheel in a certain situation. We can talk off air. It's
you hit it right on the nail.
Yeah, we can talk off air. That stuff's crazy, man. He was telling the truth. If you do what Tesla said, you will see what Tesla saw. That's a guarantee. So yeah, and he almost took that building down, man. I believe that.
Yep,
100%.
Yep.
So
Because,
hold on, Gerald. Sorry, I'm going to go back a little bit. Gerald, in your coil, you're rotating a voltage potential throughout the entire thing, so you're going to grow a magnetic field out of it, but it's not going to have the same thing as a magnetic field stuck in a magnet. It doesn't work on the same principle. So it's going to represent as magnetism two objects around it, but it's not necessarily the same magnetism you're used to in a magnet.
No, I know. It's a different. It's not magnetism. It's more like
it's force in motion. It's force.
Yeah, because of the charge separation that's created inside the core of the coil itself.
Yeah,
and that's with multiple coils. There are some that it doesn't do that with, and they present differently. Sacred geometry, man, I'm telling you, it's got secrets like no other. It's it's crazy. Anyway.
So real quick on the magnet thing, when we looked at it,
yeah,
the strongest fields are represented in black on both sides of the magnets, right?
Right.
And you call the black zone in the center of the null zone as if there's nothing there.
It's dielectric collapse.
Right, but here's the thing. Anytime you talk about a black hole or something like that, it's the darkest thing in the sky, and there is no energy band around it like they like to show it with. That's just gibberish. It's actually pure black, and it's a flat black. And what it is the highest amount of energy possible goes into that zone. That's why it's black. Right. Flat black pulls in the most energy possible in a system. Right. I don't think it's null. I think that's the energy zone itself. But because of what it's doing is it's pulling it out of the same field that you're in. It's making it look like there's nothing there, but there's everything there.
Well, you're right. And you're in a sense you're wrong a little bit there on that, because you're right to say it's not a null zone. But you're right when you say there's everything in there. It's actually like electrostatic confinement. There is nothing that can get in there except for the atomic element that is resonating at the frequency of that null zone itself. And I know that.
Hold on. Let me just give you this before you go on. The clue is how the field gets like this. It goes like this, the normal dielectric, and then it pulls in. It's sucking it in.
Right.
It's acting like a black hole. It's sucking it in.
Okay, right. But when it comes to the null zone, there's more than one field that's actually operating in that single point. That's what creates the null zone itself. So it's not just pulling in, it's pulling in and pushing out. That's why it's confining the element that's at that same frequency. Yeah. It's like resonating it and holding it in the center, but nothing else can affect it because it's not at that frequency.
Now, if
So-
it's collapsing and compressing into that null zone, the energy is going in, but does it come out? And if it does come out, where is it coming out? Is it different dimension, or what is it?
Well, I think it's a charge density that creates a particle.
Let's
It's not
experiment.
a particle until the particle's grown, so to speak. You know what I mean?
How big
And I
can you
see- Go
how
ahead.
big can you scale it? Like, could
you can
somebody?
scale it as big as the magnet is.
Oh,
You know,
so in theory, if somebody were to stand in the center of that null zone, we'll be able to
Right.
tell if they're in a different world or not.
well,
No, you'd be in the same world where you were standing in originally, but the
Okay.
people that are outside of that would not see you. You'd be resonating at a different frequency. I know that from experience.
So the whatever is in the null zone can see out, but the people out cannot see in.
Well, they can't see you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like you're not standing there. But if you scale this down to a certain size, I've been working on something since 2022 called the Atom Project. And it has to do with elements and the null zone. That's why I said in the last live, Nathan, that I'll be able to prove it to you shortly, because that null zone actually forms elements, or I'd like to say it actually pulls an element in, uses it as a seed, and multiplies it from the resonance that's created in the center of the null zone. And that null zone is created because of Bose-Einstein
Concentrate.
that are
Concentration.
spinning around it. So it's that's what I've been working on, and that's coming out. So that's why I say I can prove the null zone exists. But is it really a null zone? No, it's more of a depletion region that
Yeah,
contains
it's
electrostatic
collapsed.
confinement. That's
Well,
what it is.
You know what? I won't argue with that. There may be nothing at the center, but the actual area around it has the most dense energy right there.
Yes, yes, but it's null of anything magnetic. It's null of any other particles other than the particle or element that it's resonating at. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I know exactly what you're saying. There could be a lot of it in that null zone, but it's only of one thing.
Yeah, and this is kind of a interesting thing, because there was a couple guys who supposedly made a time machine, and the one guy used basically like a Jacob's ladder, all right, and he focused at the top of the Jacob's ladder. He focused, the lasers that you get from the old CD-ROM burners.
Yeah,
He focused that to a point right at the top of the Jacob's ladder. So after he activated the device, that null zone showed up just above the Jacob's ladder. He threw I think it was a bolt or a nut, threw it into it, and it disappeared. And then it popped out the other side about 10 seconds later.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
and the story goes on from there. So yeah.
I could say a little bit about that, but it's going into what I'm going to be bringing out, so I'm going to leave that one alone.
All right.
It's like I said, when certain things come out, I know I'm going to get a knock on the door, so I might as well just come out with it all. And I'll say this, I'm not opposed to working with people. I have no problem with authority. I have a problem with abusive authority. That makes me just
exactly.
Abuse
of power.
Yeah, I have no problem with power. No issues. There has to be, man. But there has to be a hierarchy, unfortunately, in the world, because there's too many unstable people. Otherwise, we'd all be living in heaven, right? Because we'd all know that I'm not going to step on your toes. You're not going to step on mine. Here, I have some extra fruit. Why don't you have that? Oh, you got some extra vegetables? I'll take that. That's awesome. And if we all live like that, we wouldn't have any issues. Unfortunately, it is what it is. So, yeah, like I said, I respect authority. I just hate abusive authority. It drives me insane. Like academia. Oh, don't get me started.
Gerald loves academia. Don't let him lie to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love them. They're great. I love
He's a
the people
scholar.
in academia.
Oh,
The
he
people in
loves the
academia,
papers.
it's-
Gerald loves the papers.
Yeah. Hey, don't kid yourself. I read a lot of papers. I don't agree with them all, but I read a lot of them.
I
You
love
gotta
it.
know what people are thinking. You know what I mean? That's part of it.
Oh,
Yeah, academia is. I'm telling you, after everything that's been accomplished, that we as public are not aware of, academia can go suck a bag of lemons because, man, they're coming out with stuff so slow. A turtle's gonna beat them soon enough. Like, it's crazy. I'm telling you. I don't have a lot of respect for those that run academia. The people in it, they're great. They're working hard.
It's a big criminal organization for me. You know, they based on false pretense. That's what it is. They say, "Oh yeah, you want to prove Einstein wrong? Then come to academia, become a PhD, write 50 papers, try to win the Nobel Prize." It's all a big criminal organization based on false pretense.
Well, they
That's what
do
it
that.
is.
They give you the Nobel Peace Prize so that when they take your invention and go make billions off it, you're happy. You got your name in lights, right? Your ego gets boosted up. You feel better about yourself. Get a little money.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, they sit back in their 10 yachts and their 5 islands, and woohoo! But
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's all good, man. That's why I don't care about money. Money is just, hey, you got to pay the bills. That's why I work. But other than that, it is what it is.
well, they should just cut off all the theoretical physicists. Those people just need to get like fired because
Yeah,
Yeah, I
well,
agree.
they should force them to work with an engineer and not one that just draws plans. I mean, one that gets his hands dirty and does all the experiments because their work is pure crap and they make everybody look bad.
Yeah, they should be kicked to like below woodcraft. You know what I mean? Because all the shit they've come up with is just that.
Oh, we're in a black hole,
What
Joe.
have they done?
Joe,
Have you
we're in a
ever
black
heard
hole.
of the?
Yeah.
Have you heard of what the Perimeter Institute did in the last the last 50 years? I mean, what have they accomplished in the last 50 years? The Perimeter Institute of the Kavli Institute. Have you ever heard of them in the news?
I never even heard of them.
Yeah, well, they're sucking all of our taxpayers' money, and they just make it. They think they don't have any responsibilities. You know, that's the thing. If their theory works, they get paid. If their theory doesn't work, they get paid anyways. They don't have any stress. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
So, and we're the one paying them. So we're not smarter. You know?
No, we're not the ones paying them. They're taking our money. They're stealing our money and paying them with it. There's,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's the academics gravy train, right?
Yeah. That's their
And
idea.
they think,
We gotta get paid.
yeah, and that's they don't have any responsibilities, and they seem to think by making things more complex, they'll find the solution. But
Now, they're making
nature is about simplicity. It's not about complexity, you know. So
exactly.
if they have the more spaghetti, the more complex their theory is, the more spaghetti their maths is, and it's a mess, you know. That's why they don't find anything, because they try to maintain
Well, they can't.
a pile of garbage, a pile of shit that was created over the last 100 years.
Bill, think about this. They can't find anything at this point. They've run off of Einstein's bullshit for so long. The minute they come up with something new, it's going to make them look like a potato farmer. And then all the people that wrote papers on this guy are going to look as dumb as him. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Einstein did some good work. But let's be realistic. If he was the genius that he everybody thinks he is, E equals MC squared would do what? It would get us into fucking space. We ain't there. So what was it good for? Turning on my lights? Give me a break. It was more good for the theoretical physicists to get paid for doing
Exactly.
nothing, writing papers.
And if
My
yeah,
rant's
like you
over
say,
for the day. Woohoo! Go ahead.
like you just said, if they admit Anshan is wrong, then they're gonna get blacklisted. They're not gonna be able to publish anymore. They'll lose their reputation and they'll get fired. So,
And hey, don't get me wrong. Those that are out there experimenting and actually seeing the truth and writing about that, all the power to you. I applaud you. Those are the ones doing the hard work. The guys sitting behind the desk writing their papers with their PhD and their MP3 can go, you know what. But that's just my opinion. One man's opinion. Never that mattered, but you know.
Well, you know how you seed chaos with all those people? You just take away their lasers.
There
They
you
have
go.
no projects after that. They don't know what to do. They graduate with lasers. That's what they do. They get like a box set that has mirrors and things, and they only know how to do it, and they write their papers based on it. What can you see in the laser today? It's like
look, I made a laser.
Yeah, that's what they did. One guy literally checked it, and then he got paid for it and wrote a paper about it.
That's crazy.
And it works on a 9-volt battery.
Yeah.
The other thing is, you know, the annihilation process. I was, you know, about the antimatter genesis. I had to understand the annihilation process first, and it makes my solution is rock solid. It's perfect. The maths are simple, efficient. They just require basic calculus, but it's very simple. And the maths are perfect, and it makes the mainstream look like a farce, you know, a real joke. It's if I had to make it public, you would understand that the mainstream is a real joke, because they claim that the annihilation conserves energy using the mainstream equations, but you need to assume that the speed of light doesn't have a mass, but it has a momentum. How can the speed of light? How can the light doesn't have a mass, but it has momentum?
Yeah,
See,
it's impossible.
right there. Yeah, it makes no sense. And the speed of light, they can't explain it. So it's just a constant that comes out of nowhere.
Did you guys catch the Ashton Forbes video when he talked about the Unlab? You guys got to see these presentations, man. Back in the 3 years ago, all the top scientists, all the guys that are gatekeeping all this tech, they did tons of seminars talking about their crap. And it literally makes mainstream look like freaking retards. They were even making fun of Jack Sarfati and his S field or whatever.
Sarfati.
Yeah, Sarfati. So, yeah, the schmuck man. So they know what's actually going on, what's been real and what's been done. They have plasma balls. They have wormholes. You should see this stuff. It's crazy. Go look it up. It's called The Unlab, UNLAB, and watch those seminars. It'll blow your mind. Half that shit is absolutely for real that I've seen thus far. I've only seen half of them. I've downloaded them all though, because it's not stuff that I think is gonna stay around.
Say that name again, Gerald.
The Unlab, UNLAB, just like that. And those are the top guys that everybody keeps trying to find patents from and videos from. Them like Hal Puthoff, right? Well, he's in there. There's a guy named Gerald. I think it was Gerald Chase. No, I can't remember his name. But there's the top guys that have been working on all the anti-gravity have done papers and little presentations on that channel. So check it out. It explains a lot. There's actually a couple of them there that explain stuff that I've been doing and stuff that Mike's been doing, like, I don't know if you understand, Mike, that what they talk about in one of those seminars is called an infinite battery. And what is it? Well, it's simple. It has a high potential. So what does that mean? Well, it's zero. Its ground mark is at a potential higher than zero.
Right.
So if it sits at 12 volts and you use it, it drains to zero and then goes back to 12 volts.
Yeah.
They're calling that an infinite battery.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what mine does.
exactly. That's infinite, dude. It's never going to stop because it's literally capturing. And in the seminar, it says it. It's capturing the heat and it's converting its energy. Oh,
Right.
we lost Mike.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. So what you have is considered an infinite battery. You guys got to check out some of these videos. It just blew my mind. So, like, it goes to what you were saying, Phil, about mainstream being as dumb as, you know,
Bag of
you
rocks.
name it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I'm able to convert all the potential energy into kinetic energy, and that's what it is. The light is it's some sort of photon and electron. Positron and electron entangled, and it has a kinetic energy, and all the maths are working fine, and it's basic calculus. There's no singularity, nothing. I don't need to go in quantum mechanics to explain it. Everything is neat, and it makes the mainstream look like a real joke, man. But I'm not gonna make it public yet. But we'll see what happens. If I don't think it's a good idea. I'm trying to make money first.
Yeah. See, like one of the interesting things about my power cell is I could run a load, say, for several days, and then I could take the load off for maybe less than an hour, half hour maybe, and everything goes right back up to full potential.
Yep, that's infinite. Doesn't matter on your time delay, it's still infinite. These guys came up with a circuit talking about that, and they use capacitors, dual diodes, and it seems to run it like more efficiently up to a 65% or so.
So I've demonstrated that with the Renegade. So I ran a small version of the Renegade, and I would let it run out to basically like 0.2 volts. And what happens when it hits about 0.2 volts, for some weird reason, the motor will stop, bounce back and forth, and then spin in the opposite direction for another 30 to 40 minutes.
Phase shift. That's phase shift.
Yep.
Yeah, you got an infinite battery, dude.
You can do this with a capacitor.
Really?
Yep, that's what I did it with.
Well, I thought you did it with your crystal cell.
No,
you did that
with
just
a
with a
capacitor.
capacitor. Really?
Yes,
That's
sir.
interesting.
And I've done it, and I've replicated it 20, 30, 40 times. Works every time. So what's happening when you have a charge inside a capacitor, it's basically a static or a dielectric charge on the plates. When the energy enters the capacitor, it's not electricity. It's in the dielectric median. All right.
Yeah.
The only time it becomes electricity is when it exits the capacitor.
Did you see my recent video? I charged one of those 190,000 microfarad capacitors with like a coil the size of a loonie. Well, maybe a tune.
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't seen that video.
And you shouldn't, like, it's not magnetics. There's no way magnetics is doing that.
No.
Because otherwise it would fry the coil. The coil is so small, man. Fits inside of a watch.
Yeah. Yeah. What's kind of cool about this is you could start the charge, like when I did the experiment with the capacitor, I would set it at about 3 volts and then run the pulse motor with the spark gap switch and the piezo's, the regular Renegade setup.
Yeah.
When it got down to about 0.2 volts, the wheel would come to a stop. It would bounce back and forth on the coil and then go in the opposite direction for another 40 minutes. with only 0.2 volts in the capacitor.
Yeah, it sounded
Okay.
like you have a phase shift right inside your capacitor itself.
Yeah. And the funny part was when it did the phase shift, it ran longer than it did when I initially put the charge in it.
Really?
Yes, it ran longer.
I wonder
Yeah.
if that's because of the vacuum that was created when the phase shift in the
Right.
capacitor
It's
shifted.
pulling itself back in the opposite direction, because when you
Exactly.
when you run a capacitor regularly, it starts dropping in the positive charge, right? So
Yep.
it's going down, and it's going down to a certain point where it can't run anymore. And then the repulsive force, the opposite force, now takes over and starts pulling the wave back in the other direction. That's when you get that phase shift.
Yeah, because the force of that pulling overcomes the charge in the
Right.
sense where it puts more in than
Right.
was originally.
Now,
I get you totally.
now the question is, where is that extra energy coming in from the negative entering the system?
Well, it being dielectric could come from the ether itself.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
there I would say would be a very good example of pulling energy from the vacuum or pulling it from the dielectric medium, because like I said before, inside a capacitor, it's not electricity, it's electrostatic. It's a charge.
Yep.
It only turns into electricity when it exits that capacitor. So,
Yeah, or if you take the ether or the dielectric and you fill a capacitor with it, that's a change in itself.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? But then, like
Yeah.
you said, once it leaves the capacitor, because once you put that dielectric energy into a cap, it actually becomes like workable energy. Before that, it's
workable.
just potential. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It has to leave the capacitor to actually become physical energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I got to give you guys that circuit soon. Darn it. I keep forgetting to get it to you guys.
And the thing is that what I like about that experiment, it's very easy to do if you have the pulse motor set up that I have, and I've been able to replicate it over and over and over and over again. It works every time.
Do you have
Well,
a video
like I
on it, Mike?
I do. It's in my YouTube channel. Yeah, I do have it in there. I would have to dig it up. I did that experiment a couple of years ago, but yeah, if I find it, I'll give you the link for it. I'll send it through Facebook.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I said it before and I'll say it again, Mike. You don't need me, but I'll give you that circuit. It'll definitely increase your output, like your efficiency will go up. I just keep forgetting to send it to you guys.
Yeah,
I've got two new circuits that are freaking crazy. Go ahead.
No, I'm just really geared up on the Howard Johnson thing right now. So as soon as I get that magnetic oscillator built, that wheel will run forever. It will run forever. No batteries, no capacitors.
I want to. If you get that done, I know you don't want to share secrets, and I don't want to bust your balls or whatever. But if you decide to give out, I want a very small one that spins forever. Just a small one.
Well, it works better with a bigger wheel. Now, I will give you a couple of hinters. The weight of the wheel should be on the outer diameter. Make it as light as possible in the middle, heaviest as possible on the outer diameter.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's
also the wheel has to be out of balance. So my new wheel has a stack of magnets on one part of the wheel only.
Yeah, so you're off balancing it.
I'm off balance and it's whipping around. I'm using the inertia and the weight of the outer diameter. The further out you go in diameter, now you're working with leverage. You got greater leverage with a bigger wheel.
That sounds a lot like Howard Johnson when he accomplished it, because it would crack when it went on. It was like crack and it would just spin.
Yeah, it would spin hard. Like when I simulate what I'm going to do with this special magnetic triggering, when I hit it, that thing whips around like fast, like really fast. So if I built this magnetic oscillator, that runs on the magnetic field of the wheel itself. So there is no outside energy source going into this at all. It's all going to be working on that wheel. If I get the timing just right, this thing will run continuously, nonstop.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
So-
Inertia of the wheel is a huge part. Huge part.
I got a
But
question
then
for you.
again, you can still harness the electricity the magnets generate when they move.
Well, the idea is if I can get that thing running continuously, I would set up a bunch of pickup coils on the bottom of the wheel with magnets, positive, negative, all the way around. Have an alternating generator built right into that same wheel.
So
So
I got a question for you, Mike.
Yeah.
You could take a piezo and run it in reverse on that, and every time it gets tapped, it'll fill up a small capacitor. And then once it reaches the level where it triggers your
it would dump. It would
yeah,
dump.
yeah, your transistor, it'll dump. Yeah. So you
No,
could
there's-
actually create a little bit of a pulse, you know what I mean, to push it.
No,
every
I
once
won't
in a
need
while
it.
when you
I
want.
won't. No, the
won't need it?
the mechanism I'm making will need 0 batteries, 0 capacitors.
Okay.
Completely self-powered on the magnetic field of that wheel. So I've come up with a way of making a triggering magnetic pulse mechanically.
If I remember correctly, Howard was talking about how the more magnets, the more torque. And then you control the speed through how much torque you're putting in comparison to your load. But I'm not positive on that.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You'll get more horsepower on the diameter and the weight of the size of the wheel. Okay. So the wheel I'm working with is 12 inches. So the magnet stack that I have on there adds about, I would say about a pound. And then I'm going to add more weight to the outer diameter of the wheel to make it even heavier. So the middle of the wheel is actually the lightest part of that wheel.
I wonder if there's a standard ratio once you get to that point.
I'll have to test that. I'll have to start adding weights to it, see what what parameters I could work in. But
I do.
all I know is Howard Johnson specifically talked about the outer diameter of the wheels got to be heavy.
Timtron was telling that last time he was on my channel and he did the cast.
Yes,
He said the same thing. Thin it out in the center, put the heavy weights on the outside, and then you only have to like give it a tap every once in a while when it needs it.
Exactly.
And then you can pull out energy to stop it. You know what I mean? Stop it every once in a while from having problems. So if you do hook up coils to it later, just remember that you can pull out the energy a little bit so that it runs smoother and it runs, you know what I mean, consistently. Because sometimes when you have those big things running, they get out of balance a little bit. So you want to pull the energy every once in a while.
Yeah. So that's what I've been finding when I've been running the wheel. I'm trying to keep, as it's spinning, keep the wheel flat. And what will happen if it's out of sync? It will start this little wobble.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So that's what I've been experimenting with, the balance, trying to get as much weight on that end as possible on the outer diameter. And as it's spinning, make sure when it hits the outside magnet that's going to propel it forward, it's going to whip it around. You'll see it actually whip.
Yeah, I have. I caught that right away, actually.
Yeah. So believe it or not, the distance of the magnet from the wheel to the outside magnet is well over 3.5 inches back. It's quite a ways back.
Huh.
But if you go too much, what will happen? It'll grab it, pull it in, and then it'll break, and then it will release it. You don't want that.
Wait, I got to do something. Bill, are you awake? Sorry, I should have warned you, Nathan. I forgot about your earpiece.
It's all right, man. It's all good.
I think he is asleep.
I get more and more deaf every day, man. It's all right.
We'll fix that. Don't worry.
Not sleeping, meditating.
Meditating.
Right.
Yeah.
Does this mean meditating?
I've got
Are you on the
herpes on my
toilet,
head.
Gerald?
Yeah, there you go. I'm on the toilet.
Oh, he's dreaming of Tesla Tech is what he's doing. He's not meditating.
Yeah.
He's got some good connections going in, man. Going in hot.
I'm just gonna go for a quick smoke. I'll be right back.
Mike was waiting for me too. I made Mike wait a full hour and 40 minutes before he could go for a cigarette tonight. And well, how is everyone? Good to be here. My apologies for being late.
It's going good, man.
Gerald, while we have you, I was listening a minute ago. Well, at some point earlier, you were talking about
A few minutes ago.
the counter space where you in the coils where you're having the resonance effect.
The null zone, the depletion region.
Null zone, yes.
Yeah. The Atom Project. Something I've been working on for a little while.
Please
But
do.
It has to do with kind of with what you're working on, but in a different pretense. I'm not using water the way you are.
Well, you sparked my interest, and you know darn well exactly what I'm talking about. That applying that technique into the water.
Well, I've stayed out of it because I don't want to step on anything you're doing, and you're going to Tesla Tech, and so I don't really want to talk about the Atom Project because it coincides with your work, and I don't want to, like your work is yours, man.
I
want
it
you
privately and make it a.
There you go. We can do that. I mean, I can tell you a little bit about it, but I can't say too much because I
understand. I get it.
It does it a different way, but it still does it very efficiently. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, like on magnitude sort of deal in those specific areas.
Exactly. Okay, so picture, have you ever welded or cut steel with high temperature acetylene or other high gases in order to cut through heavy steel? Mm-hmm. And at the end of cutting through it, you get that white sort of a powder, and it accumulates. There's quite a bit, but you can never really pull it into a pile, and when you go to grab it, it dissolves and disappears into your fingers.
Yeah, the straight up monatomics and molecules. Yep.
Yeah, well, you know how it looks like flour after cutting a piece of steel?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of rates we're talking about here. Looks like it's snowing.
I get what you're saying. And you already know what I'm saying.
I know what you can do, but that's why I'm staying out of it, man. I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
It's not stepping, it's working together. But yeah, absolutely correct that we got to discuss these things privately first, and it's not because we're like trying to hold technology back or anything.
No, man.
There's actual potential, real dangers and harms with all of these different technologies, the coils of the fields. And then when you start adding new dimensions in, when you have high energy or high fields, even in just these smallest of null zone places, it's like you have to be very careful, because if you have too much of that tiny energy in that one little spot, you have like the potential of like detonating a H-bomb or something, especially when you're dealing with electrolysis and atomic hydrogen, and right. So,
well, there's a few things that could go wrong, definitely, but that's not my point.
That's the ultimate worst case, right?
I'm just trying to stay away from.
Before you get to that, you'll have radiation, you'll have heavy metal poisoning, you'll have toxic gases.
Yeah, but I'm not. It's not even about that for me, Bernie. I'm trying to stay away from your field of expertise.
I feel you, but we're coming together. We're a group.
Well, no, we will. We definitely will.
For a while, Gerald, because I knew you were right on this right here. What we're talking about, we got to get it done. But
dude, I want you to do Tesla Tech first, and then you and I will do like a live and talk about the Atom Project.
Why don't we do the live from Tesla Tech? You can be one of the guest remote presenters if you'd like.
Oh, That's an interesting concept. You and I should talk offline.
Are you gonna be on the big screen?
Yes, Steve's giving me a whole media room to do extra live streams and interviews from. And actually, something I wanted to talk to all of you lovely people. I was going to say gentlemen, but there's also the lovely Lulu with us. But all of the League of Extraordinary Inventors, each of you, if you want to do and plan specific presentations and times, during the 5-day event, we can do that. And specifically, there's Thursday and Friday, I believe, are the days that are the electrogravitic, the field, and the magnetic motor, and also Tesla coil days of what the presenters Steve has lined up, because he structured it in those sort of topics, where then the Friday, Saturday are more of the water and the cold fusion sort of stuff. But you are welcome to join for all of them. Just
When is it again? The last week of August?
no, first week. It's August 6th through 10th. I'm there from the 5th to 11th.
I'm in. You and I'll have to talk details offline.
100%. I like it.
For sure.
Love it. We want some more of it. And big news. Apparently, we've been able to create such a hype with Tesla Tech that a bunch of the OG presenters and legends of the previous 4 decades, because this is the 40th annual year of Tesla Tech happening there. And so I guess a bunch of presenters from the past are all now coming in attendance, even though they know there's no more room to present themselves. They're coming just to be able to speak and do the interviews that we're doing there and be part of some of the panels. Marco Rodin is also coming.
I heard Put Up might be coming.
Shit.
How were you able to finance?
Just a whisper. Don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard. I guess we'll see, right?
No, I don't want to get kidnapped into his basement.
Oh, jeez.
How were you able to finance the trip so fast? In 2 weeks, you sold a couple of jars.
I wish. It's actually that and shout out to everyone who has supported me and donated crypto over the last 5 years. It was that I hadn't been able to cash out my crypto in Canada for the last several years, since there was the whole what was it, the protest where they went to Ottawa or whatever the heck, but they cracked down on crypto. Then they blocked all of the different exchanges to bank accounts because of that. So it was like over the last 4 years I literally could not cash out my crypto into Canadian banks. Even the Bitcoin ATMs that are supposed to accept your Bitcoin and give you cash back, they only take cash in Calgary, and I think it's the same across Canada. So it was that I couldn't cash it out, and then I finally figured out, and I guess at some point recently they allowed the one American exchange, Coinbase, which is like the corporate control exchange. So it's now the Canadian and American corporate on and off ramp only, but at least I was able to cash my crypto to my bank account to buy.
I got a crypto question for you, Crypto.
Yes, sir.
I was given a full coin by the founder of crypto when it first opened up. I registered my wallet in my name, and I never went back to it. Is there any way of getting that coin back?
Which founder of which exchange?
Was that Japanese can't remember his name.
How did you register it to your name?
Well, it wasn't registered to my name. It was registered to a wallet, and all the information I put in the wallet, and then I got that number and it was put on my computer on my hard drive.
Okay, so if you have the 12 words key, like the words that will to your wallets that restore your wallet, if you have that written up, somewhere, then you're good. You can bring that coin anywhere, anytime. But if you don't have your seed key phrase for that wallet, then it's lost forever. But if you have it written down, you have it forever. That's how crypto works.
Ooh, okay. Okay, that might be in my notes, actually. Actually, I'm almost positive it is.
I pray good juju for you
They
that it
call
is, because
that
then
they
you
call
got it.
that they call that a dry wallet, right?
Yeah, never
So
used before.
not really. It's a self-possession wallet. The dry wallet, I think you're meaning like a cold wallet, and those
Yeah,
are the
cold,
ones
yeah.
that are the actual like a removable hard drive sort of thing, like a USB
There's
that you then
there's
download
one
it onto that
there's
and
one
then
that shows the
disconnect
code.
it, and that's a cold wallet.
Well, when Bitcoin was first created, that the guy who created it, that Japanese gentleman, offered up 200 coins to the first 200 people that had emailed, and I got a coin out of that. Like 200 people got one coin, and I was the one that got one of the coins out of it. And then, like, I have that written down somewhere. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah,
So
you find
apparently
that
it's
seed
quite a
key,
bit.
brother, and you got it, and I will help you cash that out, my friend.
Absolutely, I'll give you a call on that. No problem.
All
right, guys.
right.
We're gonna have to square up for the night because I want to be able to cut this. Yeah, we go live to air
Do we
again.
though? I'm kind of turning against the AI clips just because they suck so bad. But I guess the panel is a little bit better than when I'm like anyone's presenting, because it's like for any clip with the AI, and if there's like a demonstration or a presentation on the screen, it cuts that right out and just shows the faces of a couple people, and usually it's not even the faces of the people talking. So I'm getting a little bit frustrated, but you guys are done, fair enough.
Yeah, so sometimes I was noticing Nathan talking and he was zooming on me sleeping.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
I think they did that one on purpose, Phil.
Yeah, and I got over.
It was trolling you. It's smarter than we give it credit.
And the best part is I was getting over 1K views.
Don't kid yourself, you guys. Phil plays like he's sleeping. He's secretly listening to all of us. Like
He just puts on those googly eye glasses,
right?
It's the recording of the snoring.
It's James Bond Dubois.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
But anyways, yeah, we go live to air again every Friday night at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. Be sure to check out Oman Builds, Finite Energy at Philip there. And Gerald, you got your channel. Maybe you could throw that in the chat before we shut down. Bernie, Crypto Alchemist, check out his channel as well. And we'll see everybody next week.
Thanks for having me on. You guys have a great week.
Appreciate
It was awesome talking to you all.
hang around for when we're up.
Yep.